You've written about this, you know this, you know Mark Carney. What do you make of it? It seems a bit more aggressive than
I suspect what will be interesting to hear how they think about the neutral rate and how they think about it in terms of timing, because we know this wasn't a rate that they're supposed to get to tomorrow. It's a rate which that would be over several years. So it could be that that's that. I mean, you're right. There's a sort of relatively hawkish tinge to a lot of this, the fact that it's a unanimous vote, the fact that we are talking about a higher rate than many people were expecting for that neutral rate. But if they say, you know, we're going to take our time to get there, the suggestion of 2020 of 1.1%, that suggests you're not expecting to get there anytime soon. So perhaps they're still wanting to give some ease to the market on that.
And it's also done at a time that the UK is the one G7 economy that actually is slowing in its GDP growth. Everyone else is accelerating growth. They're slowing some.
Yeah, I mean, but I think, though, you have to take this in the context. What is our star? What's that neutral rate? It's the rate that would be kind of just right if you're at full capacity and you're at the inflation rate. Well, there probably isn't a lot of spare capacity in the UK economy right now. We've had a recovery that's almost as long as the US. We've just had this slowdown since the Brexit vote, which is obviously causing an enormous of uncertainty. But you know, it could be that there isn't an enormous amount left for the UK economy. They do have to start moving back, even if they have the Brexit uncertainty, even as they're reducing the potential growth rate.
All right, so just to recap here, the Bank of England raises rates 25 basis points, and it appears that to be a more hawkish statement than expected. The long-term neutral rate, which is what we we're just talking about, on the high end is going to be 3%, and over the next 3 years, they see that neutral rate coming in at 1.1%. So when we try and gauge the frequency of rate hikes with that neutral rate, short-term and long-term, are we in a one and done? Are we at a gradual? What do we infer from that?
No, they haven't. Again, we'll listen to the press conference, but you know, they haven't pushed back from the market pricing, which has been for kind of one rate hike a year. You know, very different from what we're looking at in the US. And you know, I think this would be broadly consistent with that. So you know, still a very slow pace, even though they have this expectation that rates are going up. And incidentally, they've done some research which suggests they think the neutral rate is going up very gradually around the world after this sort of many years where there were structural forces bringing it down.